Hi, this is Lisa from Love to Pierce. So I'm just going to give you a quick video on the reasons why we don't personally recommend gum piercing. I've seen a lot of these videos, so I know that there's always one person who comments underneath, I had a gum piercing and it healed just fine. And if that did work for you, that's absolutely great. I have to say I've had 3 pairs of gum piercings done myself before I knew why you shouldn't get them done, and mine did heal, but they didn't heal properly, and there's a couple of issues, like this one actually points up a bit and the spacing was wrong. I actually had to have one redone because they put them too close together as well. So we don't recommend these gun piercings because the gun that they use is actually never sterilized in between piercings. So the earrings are in a little pre-pack, they're fitted into the gun, and then they're squeezed through the ear. So that high pressure shot, the loud bang you hear, is just the earring being forced through the ear, and then it's closed at the back with the butterfly part of the ear. So that's very uncomfortable. I know when I had these ones done, they were actually quite painful, and I actually thought that's how getting your ears pierced was supposed to feel. And also there's a loud bang, and in some places they have one piercer stood either side of the child while they have them done, and 2 big adults standing over a little girl while she's getting her ears pierced both sides at the same time, and there's a loud bang. It's not a very nice experience. From my experience, I didn't like it, and I know other people have said the same thing. They don't really like that, and the child usually ends up screaming and crying. So when you come to us or any professional piercer to get your child's ears pierced, we use single-use sterile needles, which are opened in front of you, they're thrown in the bin, they're never used again. So there's that whole risk of contamination is completely eliminated straight away. Also, the needle pierces the skin, it goes through the lobe, and it's nowhere near as painful as a gun piercing. It is a little bit sore at the time when it's done, just for the seconds while the needle goes through, but as soon as it's taken out, it throbs for maybe 10 minutes, and then it feels fine. It doesn't actually feel bad after that at all. I know when I had these done, I know I was a child, much younger, but they throbbed for hours afterwards, and then they seemed to clear up, and then they suddenly started having a reaction, and they got swollen and things like that, so it was really uncomfortable. Also, the jewellery that they use, they say it's non-allergenic, and it is allowed to be advertised at that, but it actually does contain 6 to 12% nickel in these piercings, in the jewellery that they use. Even though it says nickel-free, legally they are allowed to sell it as nickel-free, but it's not. If you can Google this, find out yourself. It's not actually nickel-free. The only jewellery that should ever be used in fresh piercings is titanium. It's non-allergenic. It's what they use when you have surgery, so it's implant grade titanium. If you go for surgery somewhere and you need an implant, that's the metal that they will use for that surgery. So that's why with the piercings you get done in a professional shop, you won't have a reaction to them. They are completely non-allergenic. So sometimes if you get a gun piercing, it feels fine, and then 6 weeks or 8 weeks later it'll start to swell and get sore, and that could be just a reaction to the actual jewelry rather than the piercing itself. So if you want to continue getting gum piercings, by all means, it's everybody's own choice, but personally we would just recommend go to a professional piercer. And even for your child as well, if you're getting your child's ears pierced, take them to a professional piercer. There's no loud bang from the gun going through the ear, and it's just a much nicer experience. Our own clients have said that it's night and day when you go to a professional piercer. So make sure you can book us. We do children's ear piercings. About 6 years old is the limit for ear piercings. We wouldn't pierce younger than that, just because you can't really explain to them what's going on, but when they're older you can explain them, talk them through it, and it's a lot pleasanter experience for everybody involved. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.